take Ozempic. They start you off really low. The side effects are nausea, mostly nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. I had some nausea over the weekend on my second dose, which could be related. I'm not feeling the best this morning, but overall it hasn't been too bad. So I'm only in 2 doses. I haven't really noticed anything yet, but it takes a bit. It takes like 6 weeks to get used to it. So I go back to the naturopath. So let's fast forward back there. And he says leptin. And so he prescribes some dietary changes, which start out slow but get more aggressive, as well as light therapy. Okay, so I am eating a plant-based diet because meat makes me tired. It does. So he says you need to eat breakfast within 30. I'm also trying intermittent fasting. So Corey and I were intermittent fasting every other day, a 16 to 18 hour fast, and then eating normal for dinner, and then the next day. It's working really well for him, but it wasn't doing anything for me. It turns out when you're leptin resistant, intermittent fasting is actually worse, because the purpose of intermittent fasting is for your body to burn fat as a fuel source as opposed to sugar. And that's what leptin does. When your body is sensitive to the leptin production, you turn on your fat burners in the mitochondria and you burn fat as your energy source. And so I don't do that. You don't do that when you're leptin resistant, apparently. So my body is holding on to everything so that it can burn the sugar and the carbs later, and I'm not burning any fat, and I'm just tired, and it's making me more tired because I don't have anything in my body to burn. I have fat in my body to burn, but my body doesn't want to burn fat. So I don't have anything to burn on those days, and so I'm tired. Oh God. So where am I? Okay, so he says you have to eat breakfast within 30 minutes of getting up. Okay? No problem. I won't fast. I will I'll eat. Who cares? Of course I'm going to eat. That's fine. But it has to be protein. You can't have any carbs for breakfast. Now, I eat cereal for breakfast. Sometimes I'll have a muffin. Sometimes I'll have yogurt and granola. But a lot of the times I have cereal. And I can't have any of that. You have to work up to 50 grams of protein into your breakfast. Now, I don't eat meat. I've made the exception recently with eggs. I'm pretty sure that in order to get 50 grams of protein from eggs, I need to eat 8 of them in one sitting. I have a belly the size of a fist, or maybe I've stretched it a little bit, but it still isn't big enough to fit 8 eggs. So I said, well, what about protein shakes? Can I have protein shakes? Yes. Okay, so I'm focusing on the protein shakes, and I'm trying. And he said, you won't get 50 grams in right away, but work up to it. Try to get it in. Don't snack in between your meals. Okay. Try to have under 100 grams of carbs per day. You can't have have no carbs because your body isn't burning fat yet, so it needs that fuel. So if you go no carbs right away, then you don't have anything to burn and you'll be exhausted and you won't recover from the gym and all of that. So, but slowly we're going to bring it down. Once we reset your leptin, we're going to bring down your carb cravings. Eventually you'll be on a gluten-free diet because gluten is highly inflammatory. Okay. You should try a paleo diet. Do you know what's hard to do when you're a vegetarian? A paleo diet. So now, as of yesterday, I've started a paleo diet. I bought a paleo cookbook. All of my recipes this week for dinner have very little to no carbs. They're all meat-based, seafood and chicken mostly, pork and beef on occasion, because those make me tired the most. So now the obesity doctor wants me to be plant-based, but the naturopath wants me to be paleo. So I'm trying it. I'm trying it for 2 weeks to see if my body can handle it, to make sure that I'm not overly tired. If so, then I'll try and continue on. But and the Ozempic is supposed to help with cravings, which should help me come off wheat and grain and those simple carbs that I just gorge myself on. Okay, so eat lots of fish, limit your carbs, don't eat tomatoes or potatoes or nightshades or anything because they're inflammatory. I think there's a couple other dietary issues, but that's fine. So implement these changes slowly, which I have. I'm not cutting out grain. I'm trying to limit my grain and my carbs per day and focus on meat and vegetables. Yesterday I think I had a little over 100 carbs maybe, compared to the hundreds of carbs I usually have a day. That's pretty good. All right, so let's go to light therapy. So leptin is also tracks and regulates your circadian rhythms. So when you're leptin resistant, you don't really absorb the melatonin that your body makes at night and signals that you have to go to sleep, and it doesn't absorb the cortisol in the morning that your body produces to get you out of bed. And so he's recommended some light therapies. Now this is the same thing or similar that people do for seasonal affective disorder. So for anybody who doesn't know, seasonal affective disorder is a form of anxiety and depression that is tied to the seasons, because in Canada in the winter it's cold and it gets dark at dinner time and it doesn't get light until 9, and you have less light during the day, you're not out in it, your vitamin D goes down, and so you end up suffering from anxiety and depression. And so they have a bunch of things for light therapy to help with that, and it also helps with leptin resistance and to control your circadian rhythms. So he says don't have LED lights on after dark. Apparently LED lights emit a very strong, I want to say UVA light, and which your body takes to mean that it's go time. UVA is absorbed by your body, and then it's like, oh, it's morning, it's daytime, it's time to do things. So when you're sitting around LED lights all the time, your body is like, oh, it's ready to do things. Also, the way that LED lights work, they flicker, so you can't see it. It takes a nanosecond, so it's not perceptible to your human eye, but your brain registers those flickers as stimulus. And so when you're sitting under LED lights or around LED lights, your brain is getting stimulated, so it's not resting down for the night. You have trouble sleeping. So then he says, go halogen after dark, no problem. After dark, don't look at blue light. If you have to look at blue light, use blue light blocking glasses or lenses. Now, a lot of people think this is hokum and those lenses don't do anything. Blue light comes from your devices. So if I'm looking at my computer or my phone after dark, I should be wearing blue light blocking glasses. So I've installed an app on my personal computer that limits the blue light. I have glasses to put on, a lens over my glasses at night if I have to look at my phone or my computer. I've changed out the majority of LED lights to halogens in my house, and the LEDs that I do have on, I only have on during the day. Okay. Then he says, you need to go outside for 5 minutes at sunrise and just stand there in the sun, eyes open, glasses off, mouth open, and absorb these rays. Because this is sunrise and sunset is when you get the strongest UVA, and that's what your body needs. If you wear your glasses, your eyes will be protected from it because it's got the coating on it that filters out UVA and UVB. So you need to do this in the mornings. It's easier to do in the winter because morning and sunrise happens at like 8:30, 9 o'clock instead of 5 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, I'm not doing that. I tried to do that this morning actually, and I feel like an idiot. But that's not okay. So I can't say my naturopath recommends that. He recommends a book called Epipaleo Prescription, which this guy recommends it. So in the morning and at night, absorb your sun rays. If you can get out during the day, that's fine, but it's more UVB than UVA during the day, which is bad for your skin. So if you can get out, get out. Then they talk about cold therapy. Standing out in the cold, taking cold showers. I can't remember what the purpose of that is, but apparently it's supposed to be healthy for you. Oh God, I can't even remember everything that goes along with it. I'm trying to read the Epipaleo Prescription book, and I'm trying to listen to YouTube posts about chronic inflammatory response so that I can get it all straight in my head. And I like knowing things and data, and when I hear the medical reasoning behind it, it makes me feel like it's a little less hokum and a lot more actual medical science. So God, I think I should stop there and start another one, right?